Hello everyone, today we are going to watch the recap of the film titled No Limit. The movie starts by showing a girl named Roxana. When Roxana was 12 years old, she witnessed her father leaving in a car. She tried to catch up with him, but she was unsuccessful. Her grandfather rescued her and decided to safeguard Roxana, fostering in her a love for water. Roxana acquired knowledge of the ocean's depths and has persevered in pursuing this field of study. She is presently a student at a university and resides with her mother. Following a presentation on diving and its consequences on human lungs, she notices a poster of world champion snorkeler Pascal Gautier conducting conference sessions, where anybody who is interested may pay for lessons. Roxana attempts to talk to her mother about it, but she is very critical of her daughter and fears that she isn't going to see the psychologist. In addition, her mother has little interest in Roxana's hobbies. Comprehending that explanation are pointless, Roxanne sends an SMS indicating that she would remain at a friend's place for that night. Roxanne was on the beach trying to find a place to stay for the night, but she had no money. She ended up sleeping on a stone bench outside of a hotel. Later, she met Tom, one of Pascal's instructors and assistant, who offered to help her. Meanwhile, Stefan and Tom gave a briefing to everyone who had signed up for their free diving lesson on a boat. They explained that it is important to remain calm and not panic in the water. After the pupils have practiced, Pascal, a charming and attractive man, enters and instantly piques Roxana's attention. The instructor also observes that Roxana shows promise because she is skilled at catching her breath and comfortable in the water. Pascal chooses to show a lesson by descending to the glass dome, which is more than 80 meters deep. After the practice, Tom notices Roxane has no place to go, so he invites her to their team's party. She agrees to his invitation so that she may get to know the instructor and their acquaintances. Roxana appears at the party in the evening and notices Pascal there, but she doesn't say anything and heads to the restroom. Then, Pascal joins Roxana and kisses her. Without uttering a word, she kisses him. Then the two make passionate love in the restroom. Subsequently shows the other guests of the evening. One of girl is enraged by the Pascal's behavior because, until lately, Pascal has been her boyfriend. The next day, Pascal and Roxane spend time together swimming beneath the surface and admiring the beauty of the seabed. They subsequently join the free diving squad for another practice session in preparation for the World Championship. While Pascal is getting ready, the instructors inspect the gear and go through the diving regulations within them. After making sure everything is in order and convincing himself that the team is prepared, Pascal chooses to dive to a depth of 172 meters to break the world record. To ensure that everything is going according to plan, he is followed by agents and physicians every 40 meters. Pascal begins to dive after a few minutes. When he returns to the surface, everyone is joyful, but then he realizes that one of the trainers is still deep down. He dives to rescue him, and the crew finds Matthew, the missing trainer. They attempt to save him, but it is too late. Matthew was only 40 meters away, and his lack of experience caused his death. The team gathers the following day to pay tribute to Matthew and create a strategy. Although Pascal is aware that there aren't adequate instructors and that some of them can't compete, he offers the opportunity to hire Roxana on as an instructor. Although Stefan is opposed to the proposal, the other coaches agree and offer the girl an opportunity to join their squad. Later that night, when Pascal inquires Roxana if she's ready to quit her studies to pursue a career in sports, the young woman says yes, since she'll do everything to be with the guy she loves. After a few weeks of training, the team departs for the World Championship, where Pascal established a new record by diving 172 meters. In the evening, Roxana and Pascal enthusiastically join the squad in a nightclub to celebrate the win. When Roxana phones her mother to tell her that she now has a boyfriend, her mother is horrified by the fact that her daughter decided to give up her promising future and quit school in order to date a man she barely knows. Roxana realizes that she made a mistake by calling her and ends the call rather than listening to her criticism. The following morning, another diver dives to a distance of 174 meters, breaking Pascal's record. However, Pascal is unfazed and immediately starts to prepare for a dive down to 176 meters. But during training, Pascal falls and is unconscious. Pascal has been advised to visit the hospital, despite the fact that Stefan rescues him. Pascal's test results are delivered to Stefan, who discovers that this wasn't the first time Pascal has fainted. Since each diving may be his last, Stefan begs Roxana to persuade the athlete to abandon his professional career. After a little respite, Pascal plans to make his sweetheart a professional athlete. After weeks of practice, Roxane dives 56 meters to win the title of French women's champion. The young woman rapidly gains popularity and starts doing interviews, until she suddenly realizes that her mother is also there. As they talk, Roxana and her mother get into an argument, and Roxana tells Juliet to leave because they don't have anything to say to one another. At night, the girl has a terrible dream in which she drowns. When she wakes up, she calls Pascal, but he is away and ignores her. During the second day of the diving competition, an American dives to a depth of 178 meters, breaking the previous record. When Pascal hears of this, he immediately attempts to dive 180 meters to reclaim his title as champion, but the competition's officials ban him, since they are aware that the guy had previously collapsed and nearly drowned. Enraged, Pascal departs, leaving Roxana with the rest of the teammates. The night of the award ceremony, Roxana wins a medal and gains popularity. But then the girl is irritated by Pascal's lack of interest and leaves him alone. A short while later, Pascal apologizes and explains the reason why he behaves like that. While Pascal was 5 years old, his father abandoned him, and his mother later passed away. He grew up alone and rejected, so he raised himself. Pascal is now the world champion and owner of 25 records, but he has no intention of giving up and is prepared to fight for it. Roxana forgives Pascal and requests him to go home, but he refuses and keeps walking a little farther. The next morning, the girl finds out through Tom that Pascal has moved to another city. When Pascal fainted the first time, many in the sports world gave up on him as an athlete. Everyone knows that it may happen again and doesn't want a problem, so Pascal departed for another city. Then Roxana is trained and prepared for contests, after Stefan acknowledges that she is skilled. Roxana is once again interviewed and is attracted by a reporter. At this time, Pascal arrives and makes a fuss out of resentment, thinking Roxana acts irrationally. Soon, Pascal proposes to break the world record by diving to a depth of 178 meters, but Stefan does not agree with his choice. Pascal offers Roxana the opportunity to reach this depth, but Stefan and Tom are opposed to the idea. However, the girl enters the conversation and persuades them and prepares them for it. In the evening, Roxana tries to speak with Pascal and tell him that she isn't concerned about winning championships and that she would be willing to sacrifice everything to be with him, have children, and have a happy family. Pascal seems unimpressed and leaves the girl alone. Assuming that her partner is seeing someone else, Roxana travels to a nearby pub. There she meets Tom. He pays the bill for her drink, where she pays Tom back by kissing him and getting even with Pascal for cheating on her. A few months later, Roxana dives 178 meters at a practice. Pascal chooses to dive 180 meters to prove he is still inevitable. But after crossing, the guy faints once again and amazingly survives. This causes friction between Pascal and Roxana to increase, since the athlete continues to believe he is inevitable. After seeing Pascal with his lover in the evening, Roxana apparently resolves to pursue the man and ends up at Tom's home to get revenge by having intercourse with him. In the morning, when Roxana returns home to inform Pascal that she is leaving him and begins packing, the athlete is furious and breaks a glass, hurting his hand. Roxana attempts to calm him down, then realizes that she cannot leave her boyfriend. For the following several days, Roxana diligently trains in diving. Meanwhile, Tom sends her a romantic message, which Pascal notices and deduces that Roxana is dating Tom. Prior to the commencement of a new freediving world championship, Roxana and Pascal are questioned by reporters and given interviews. At one point, Roxana discovers Pascal's mistress and ends the press session to have some quiet time. Several days later, everyone checks out the equipment and supports Roxana as she gets ready for the tournament. Tom observes Pascal tinkering with the apparatus he just examined, but he disregards it. At 178 meters, Roxane dives and indicates that everything is good, but when she tries to fill the rising balloon cylinders with air, they are empty. The diving master Tom is aware of the situation, but he permits Roxana to continue, but it soon becomes apparent that she has been submerged for too long and needs to be stopped, else her lungs may rupture when she ascends to the surface. Tom is unable to stop Roxana, and at some stage, she loses all of her gear and sinks back into the ocean's depth. The rescue crew spots the object and dives in to save Roxana. Stefan rescues the girl from the water and administers CPR, but it's too late. Later, the authorities are questioning Pascal and other witnesses about what had happened. Tom is given additional attention since he was in charge of the broken equipment. Tom knows that Pascal is responsible for Roxana's death, but he lacks evidence, then shows the elderly man is grieving his loss. In honor of his grandchild, Roxana's grandfather subsequently scattered her cremated remains into the sea. And the movie ends. Thanks for watching the video.